Where are the Goslins now? This is gonna be so much fun because I watched this show religiously when I was younger and now they're like older than me. How does that work? I feel like I watched so when I was like a teenager. Now some of these kids, I swear, are like my age now. It's the weirdest thing. So here's the deal, guys. We have so much to talk about. Jon and Kate +8. We all know them. The parents, Jon and Kate. Let's get into them in a minute. The first thing I want to talk about is the kids, because these ages will definitely shock you guys. First, let's talk about the two twins. How old do you think they are? I was thinking maybe they're 17, maybe they're 18 now. All right, guess what? No, Maddie and Cara are 20 years old and they're turning 21 in October. How is this possible? There's a picture of them. Like, they're old. They are so old. How are they possibly close to 21? I'm 24, turning 25 in April, and it's like, how are we so close in age? I thought I was like way older than them. So I'll get into them in a second, but yes, they are actually turning 21 in October. I cannot believe it. And for the sextuplets, they turned 17 on May 10th of 2021. So how on earth? How is that possible? They are seriously 17 years old. How is that possible? In 1 year, they're going to be 18, off on their own, living their own lives, completely insane. But now let's go back to the twins. If you're wondering, they're 20, going to be 21. What do? Maddie, she is more social, I guess. She's more active on social media, I can say for sure. She is, goes to Syracuse. And she's open. She's, like, openly public about her past life and growing up with the show, and, like, she's not holding anything back. Like I said, she's 20, goes to Syracuse. She's very open on social media. You can see her on Instagram. You can see her on TikTok. She doesn't hold anything back. Whereas Cara is on Instagram. She has been tagged, but she has no posts. She doesn't post anything. She keeps to herself. She's very quiet, and she's on the rowing team at her university. So kind of different, but yes, they're going to be 21. Definitely very different personalities, but still, I just can't believe it, you guys. And for the sextuplets, well, 4 of them are still with Kate in now North Carolina. More on that whole situation in a minute, but 2 of them are actually with Jon. Here is the deal. I don't know if you guys heard this or not, but it's actually kind of just sad. According to Jon and Colin, Kate, his mother, sent Colin to a behavioral boarding school for a learning disability, and Jon didn't know where he was until he received a letter from Colin from the boarding school begging him to rescue him. Now, we can't say if this is true or not. This is what was just being said, but still, if it is true, this is unbelievably insane. Jon did apparently supposedly go rescue him, and so did Jon's girlfriend. They took in Colin full time. And then obviously, you know, Hannah, if you don't already know, was already living with Jon, so that's why the 2 kids out of the 6 are with Jon. Here's where it gets weird though, you guys, because Colin actually accused his father of being physical on social media. It's really horrible, horrific. I'll try to kind of read what he wrote and then immediately deleted on Instagram. He wrote this saying, "My dad is a liar. Yesterday he was, you know, physical and thought nothing of it." And he, and he continued to, you know, that's all I'm going to say. Basically, he went on to explain what went down and said that he's a liar. Then he ended up taking it down. So, kind of just sad. So, really kind of just sad and unfortunate. However, a source did tell people a totally different story. Well, not totally, but they did say that Colin got furious and was screaming at Jon. And when they got home, he was still screaming. And he went in the garage and got a big, heavy bottle of liquid and hurled it at Jon's car, denting it. And Jon got out of the car enraged, put him in, you know, I don't even know, it started getting kind of physical. Sucker, you know, punched him and gave him right one in the face. And then that's when the cops got involved and everything. So we don't really know the exact story, but that sounds kind of more truthful. I think Jon is just as crazy as the next guy. And I think Colin has some issues he has to work through too. It's very sad, very unfortunate. And Kate, obviously Jon's ex, did leave a statement with People magazine. She said this. You know, I'll just paraphrase and say that you are never physical with your children. I don't want to hear any excuses from anyone, not from his father, not from local law enforcement, not from court personnel whose job is supposedly to ensure the best interests of my children. There is a child abuse law, PA 23, section 8I states that doing any of the following, regardless of whether it causes injury, is abuse. And first on that list is kicking, period. I don't want my children around him. Enough is enough. Hannah, who does live with Jon, did say, "My dad loves us. He's never been physical." And Jon's rep did actually also reach out and said Jon has never done anything wrong to Colin. No charges have been filed against him, and there's no ongoing, you know, investigation. And just said that, you know, Colin has had some serious trauma in his life, and that a lot of it just isn't even true. Ironically, and kind of just sadly, Jon and Kate are actually still in a custody battle for Hannah and Colin, and they're both 17 years old, which is just like, at what age is you just legal, do whatever you want? So, sad. And for Kate, now let's go back to what is going on with Jon and Kate individually. So Kate, on social media, she hasn't posted since 2020. Nothing new with her on social media, but she has been kind of on the move. So if you don't already know, Kate bought her house, I think it was in 2008. Yeah, it was 2008, for $1.12 million, and she sold it in 2020 for a little over $1 million. So she actually lost money after having it for 12 years, which if you look at the inflation and stuff, that's awful. I feel really bad for her. That sucks. If you look too at 2008, depending on the date when she sold, that was like when the housing crash was. So she like bought it at a bad time, or she bought it for a bad price in a good buying market for real estate, and she sold it like at a pretty bad time. 2020, around the pandemic, was actually a pretty bad time to sell a house. Then towards the end of it was actually a pretty good time to sell a house. So either way, she lost money on it, so it's not good. Then if you look at the inflation and the appreciation, she did not make any money. A complete loss for her, and that kind of sucks. But she sold the house in 2020. She moved to North Carolina with 4 out of the 6 kids, and that's basically all we know for Kate. Jon, on the other hand, is a little more public. So he actually, on his social media, boom right there, says father, brother, son, boyfriend, DJ, IT at Amazon 10. So he is out and about doing his thing. He is apparently now a DJ, which I don't really know to what regard, because on one of his pictures it says celebrity guest Jon Gosselin, not really a DJ. So I don't really know what that means, but he is active on social media. He still has this girlfriend, Colleen Conrad. There's a picture of him and her right there. And she posted this recently. It was just their anniversary. Well, actually, no. It was quite some time ago. Disregard, I just said that, but they are still together in present day. I know that for a fact. But she posted this picture in actually November of 2020. Long time ago. For their anniversary, so now it's been, it's been a long time. But she did say, we've been through a lot together, and every day I love you more and more. I can't imagine you not being in my life. I can't wait to see what the coming years have in store for us. Happy 6th anniversary, Jon. They're still together. He's kind of just living a low-key life, honestly. Like, he really seems to kind of just keep to himself and live a normal, non-famous life. I think he's just works a normal job. I mean, years ago, after he had a bunch of crap happen, he was working as a waiter. So he's been through the ups and downs for sure. I wouldn't say I'm a big fan of him, not really a big fan of her. I think they're both kind of crazy. But yeah, Jon and Kate plus 8. The kids, most of them besides Colin, honestly, I hate saying that, but they're all doing pretty well. 7 out of the 8, and Colin, I wish him well. I'm going to put my good vibes and energy out there for him. I hope he can figure his life out, but it's like, he's one that's kind of on a rocky road, but the rest of them, they're doing pretty well. And for Jon and Kate, Jon, I think, is doing okay, and Kate, I think she's doing okay too, but the thing about Kate for me is she's so negative. At least she was so incredibly negative, like so negative. So I think she's always going to live like that. If I had to guess, I don't think she's going to be changing anytime soon. She will likely always be kind of negative. But guys, comment below what you think of this crazy family, Jon and Kate plus 8. And if you enjoy this segment on my new show, Where Are They Now? And you have someone or some family you want me to talk about, definitely make sure to put in the comments below and let me know who you want to hear about next.